Hello everyone and welcome again to another stream, and it's been over 2 years since our last stream, and this time we have a new aircraft. So this is the A320neo. We are flying in a Microsoft Flight Simulator. Let me just turn on external power and we'll get started. I'll be back with commentary in a few minutes.
Flight attendants, armed doors, and cross-check. Once again, we'd like to welcome you on board. Your safety is our top priority, so we appreciate a few minutes of your attention while we demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. You can follow along with the safety information card in your seat back pocket. To fasten your seatbelt, insert the flat metal edge into the buckle and pull on the straps tight. To release, just lift the top flap of the buckle. Please keep your seatbelt fastened really tight across your lap. Use the seatbelt sign as well to have it visible to the crew at all times. Your life vest is in a pouch under your seat. If you're stuck in front of you.
Alright, so we have completed our pre-taxi checklist and our start checklist. We're gonna start engine number 1 first. Never mind. This switch is always acting up. So, first off, we're gonna start our APU. We've still got external power, batteries, pumps. And our APU should be coming on soon enough. Oxygen crew supply. And mode selector is inoperative for some reason, has a fault. We're gonna override that. We have aligned the aiders, so APU status almost at 100. That's good enough. So we're gonna turn on APU bleed and start engine number 1. Let's switch over to the engines. It's slowly going up. So first off, we're gonna need to put the weight of the airplane in. Yeah. Our takeoff speeds are done. Engine is spooling up. We can't see it from here, but no, we can't. Yeah, levers are good. I see y'all typing in the chat. I should not be studying math. The test is in 2 weeks or something. We're gonna increase the brightness because it's pure daylight. Right, engine 1 is spooling up 50%, no, 50 psi. Where's, oh, there is 20% in 1. Alright, voting. Engine number 2 start. This is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Alright, so APU and engine fire tests. All operative. And let's get lights. So runway turn off, we're gonna do strobe on. We are not gonna turn on the landing lights just now, but we will turn everything to taxi. And nav and logo, of course. No smoking on. And bright dome lights, because why not? I'm gonna test the annunciator lights. Yeah.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
We're gonna do the taxi checklist already because engines are still spooling up, but so flight control surfaces all seem to be working. Where is it? There. Yeah. Alright. Flaps. And we're gonna go ahead and test speed brakes are armed. Full. Right, flaps are full. Everything is working. We'll leave it on 1 because that's our takeoff configuration. And so flight control is checked, flaps setting, radar and predictive wind shear. Predictive wind shear is here. There we go. Engine mode selector, we'll get that to normal. And we'll turn off the APU and APU bleed. Alright, that's going down. Alright, we're gonna start taxiing now. I believe, where are we in the, I should have seen a chart before this. I don't think I have any charts here. Yeah, of course I don't have them in Naviggraph, so I'll pull up a chart in another window and you won't be able to see it. Or I can just use the pushback system. So pushback, I'll call the tug, and parking brake is off. We're gonna go back and to the right. Because I believe we are departing from the other side of the runway. That's quite a long taxi. But we can use toga and depart before that. Not that long of a taxi. For those who don't know, toga is the biggest thrust setting. I'll show you in a second. We're just lining up now. Toga is this thrust setting, which is takeoff and go around. Go around is when we abort a landing, and oh look, a plane. So we can also use that for toggle, or we can use flex, which is the thrust setting which doesn't put as much wear into the engines, and that would be very good for, you know, airlines, because maintenance costs and everything. So pushback system is off and we are in the taxiway. We are not going to be contacting ATC today. Let's just get our checklist going. Cabin is checked, spoilers are armed, and takeoff config. Check. And we're gonna start our taxi. I believe the holding point is like at the end of this taxiway. Maybe a bit further, I don't know. Oh yeah, it's before the crossing to the runway. I did not check the radar. But yeah, it's working. I think it is at the end here. Yeah. And we can depart straight from there. We're gonna slow down just a bit. Yep, this is the holding point. That seems like an awful lot of runway. We can certainly use that. Where is our flight plan in here? Well, it's in here, yeah. Oh, come on, did it not load the flight plan? There it is. That's the full flight plan. The first waypoint is 083. Yeah. Zero 083 and an altitude doesn't say. I'll just go straight for level 10. Yeah. For 100. I mean, that's everything, I think. Ecam is all green. Line up. Yeah, check runway. TCAS is on. Packs 1 and 2 are not required. And we are done. Let me just mark them as complete. And we are clear to take off. Reminder, our speeds are 120, VR at 140 and V2 at 148. That dude's just landed. there's no one holding up there, so I'm clear. We're gonna come off the brake slowly and line up. And we'll do a straight out departure, not even stopping. Our destination is Nice, Côte d'Azur Airport. Right. Climb. Our thrust is normal. Toga. Keep the center line. V1. VR. V2. Gear is up. Positive climb. We're gonna focus on our instrument panel now. Flaps up. This is Lisbon, city of Lisbon in Portugal. Lever climb. And the propeller engaged. It's gonna keep our speed. This is the south side of Lisbon. Over there, hold on. Yeah, that's actually the main part of the city. We are passing right over the bridge. We can't see it from here. We will be able to see it when we do the turn. So we're gonna do direct to waypoint Exona. And we're gonna start turning. Alright, we're gonna take out the speed brakes. No more rotor brake, everything is great. Yeah. We did forget to lock the cockpit door, but that's no issue here. We also have video of the cockpit entrance, so we now have an awesome view of Lisbon. There's the bridge coming up. There's the other bridge. That is the Vasco da Gama bridge. And this bridge is named after the 25th of April, which was a revolutionary day for Portugal. And that's Lisbon. That's the airport we took off from. Just over there. We're gonna go ahead and climb to 25,000. We seem to be back on our flight plan. Yeah, point 2 radians off. What's our QNH? 1020. Oh, that. Yeah, 1021. And that's standard because we are above the transition altitude. this is live time and live weather, so we might have a bit of turbulence arriving because the weather does not seem good. It's actually, the winds are calmer. I mean, the pressure is way lower, but the winds are pretty calm. 3 knots? Wow. Our cruise altitude will be flight level 420 for this flight. Positive power. Do we still have a fault on the mod selector now? Okay, how is our fuel going? Mostly in the outer tanks. Fuel on board 6,600. Right. We are consuming at 70 kilograms a minute, and we should have 3.8 tons of fuel, or thousands of liters, when we get to the airport. This is the estimated fuel on board at the time of landing. Our destination for this flight will be Nice airport in France, quite near Monaco. Yeah, so this is the airport we're gonna be going to, Nice. This is the alternate airport, which means if we can't land there, like we go around 3 times, it will be mandatory to go to Marseille, because it's the law. And the flight time is the same as real life, yes. So we will be getting there at, well, this is clearly not good. We will not get there at 5 in the morning. This is like a 2-hour flight. It's somewhere in here. I cannot seem to find it, but I believe this is a 2-hour flight. Oh, there it is. 3:47, but that's UTC. In Portugal, because of daylight savings, we are 1 hour above that, so it should be at 4:48 Portugal time, PM, of course. We are about to get to the first waypoint, and you might notice our aircraft symbol here is a bit deviated from the line. That's just because we're correcting for the wind. We have wind coming from the left to the right, which is pushing us to the right. So we actually have to stand a few degrees to the left, as you can see here. That's like, what, 2 degrees? So that we compensate for the wind. Otherwise, after rule of thumb, I think is I can't remember, but it's something like after 100 kilometers you'll be like 2 kilometers off course or something. Are we at cruise altitude? No, we need to put that higher. We can't take out the seat belts just now, but we will get the lights off, runway turn off, and landing lights. We do not need nav and logo lights, but we will put the, actually we don't need wing lights, that's just for de-icing purposes, and we'll get the strobe on. And yes, the plane does have wipers. So yeah, that's it. I'll be back with commentary in a few minutes because we are just gonna start our first turn when we reach this waypoint. There we go. See ya. Hello again, and we are now just shy of 1 hour and 15 minutes until we land. We are 1,100 kilometers away from Nice. The next waypoint is only in 500 nautical miles, so it's gonna take us a while, but we're at cruising altitude and we have quite a bit of turbulence because as you can see here, this pointer is the variation of the vertical speed, so we're constantly going up and down and up and down, so we are facing a bit of wind, but as you can see we are quite to the left of our heading, but we are at 0.8 times the speed of sound, and I'm actually gonna turn off the dome lights because we don't need them. And yeah, I think that's it. We're gonna take off the seatbelts now, and everything is good, and I will be back on approach. One thing I'm gonna do though is that we are currently using fuel from the lateral tanks, and as you can see, since I started the left engine first, uh, it has less fuel than the right tank. We are actually gonna turn on crossfeed and manual mode selection so that we start pumping the fuel from the wingtip tanks to the main wing tanks, and this will start going down. We are currently using 20 kilograms a minute of fuel because we are in a low power setting and at cruise altitude. So yeah, that's it. we are gonna take care of the landing configurations. So, if I remember correctly, it is LFMN, the upper like air, and wind is correct. What is the QNH? 10, 12. Yeah, all of that is right. And we are gonna quickly look up the runway info. It is runway 4R of Nice. And we are gonna get the charts so that we can check the elevation and slope. And I think the runway is like at sea level, because it is like it's part of an island, a peninsula they extended into the Mediterranean so that they could build the airport. And runway 04R, yeah. The elevation is 12 feet. Exactly. So it is right by sea level. One second, someone's calling me. Alright, so back on the search, where is it? Okay, there it is. 04. The length is 2962. No. Let's see, 1962, 2962. In and 4R is heading 43043. We're gonna put the runway condition in good because I am not sure what the weather is like there. Oh, we are under 1,000 kilometers. We will do flaps full with reverse thrust because it's not that big of a runway, and I'm pretty sure it does not have a slope. It is a 300 feet displaced threshold. Yep, 0 degree slope, and that's all the data. We are just missing our approach speed. We will do the same approach speed as VR, which was 140, I think. Yeah, 140. And it's not that big of a difference between max and medium brakes, so we will use medium brakes. And let me check on configuration 3. We could use configuration 3 on the flaps. That could be a good idea. Let if we alter the temperature, how much would that affect? Not that much. Okay, so weather conditions should not be that bad. Let's just change the runway condition to check how bad it can get. Okay, so here nothing's gonna save us. Any break would put us over the end of the runway. So we're gonna need a medium condition runway at least. But I don't think there is much rain. Do we have a weather report? No. So yeah, that's gonna be, we'll set it as dry. Wait a minute. Why is a dry runway got the low brakes going further than a good condition runway? I don't know. Probably because of the dust, I'm assuming. But we will use medium brakes on config 3 flaps. The runway 04 wind direction is 180. So we will have the winds in a crosswind, but since it's only 6 knots now. Wait, why is the wind suddenly going? Oh, it sure has a crosswind, but it's still a little one. Yeah, the forecast is wind direction 180, but currently it's 80 degrees, so we'll have to wait until we get there. We are 900 kilometers away from our destination. Now, why did that not start draining the... Oh, I need to turn off the center tank pumps, right? That should... Ah, that's left. Let me see if that changed anything. Yeah, that is still going. Is it the... It's not this pump. That's the other. Question is, why is crossfeed not overriding the other pump? Might be a fault. So, how much fuel should we have at the start? This. We currently have 5,000 kilograms. We should have started with 8,000 and estimated fuel on board by the time 3.9, which hasn't changed. That's good news. So yeah, I'll be back at approach, start, and descent.
traffic.
And what you just heard there was a traffic warning, which means we have an aircraft inbound. That is a very big problem.
Descend.
Where is it?
Descend.
Oh, descend. We're gonna have to descend now, because there is an airplane right in front of us. Where? Where is it? Oh, is that it? Yeah, that's it. An airplane at exactly the same flight level as us. And that could have been a collision.
Level off. Level off. Clear
Okay,
of conflict.
and we are gonna level off as the computer is telling us. What you just heard is the TCAS system. Oh my god, what's the warning now? Everything seems to be okay. Yeah. So, that was the TCAS system, which is down here. And it basically warns us of any incoming aircraft that could cause a mid-air collision, because while it is very improbable, it can happen, as you just saw. There was once a crash where both planes already had TCAS, and the ATC was distracted, the tower, and they said, oh no, it's fine, and they just listened to ATC even though TCAS was literally telling them one, and it basically communicates with the other aircraft and tells one of the aircraft to climb and the other aircraft to descend, and they just didn't listen to the TCAS and they collided midair. So while it is very improbable, it can happen, and that's why we have TCAS. It's a safety measure. So yeah, back to cruising. Right in front of us you can see some really big mountains. These are the Pyrenees, which are like a strain of mountains separating Spain and France. So we are about to enter French territory after this. There's also Andorra somewhere in the middle. This airport code LEHC is still Spanish. LE is the first two letters for Spanish airports. For example, in Portugal it's LP, and that's why the airport we're going to is LF, which is French. We have the Mediterranean on our right, and we are about to cross into France. Okay, so coming back to a matter we discussed earlier, we are currently over the Pyrenees, and you can see all the snow in here. And this LESU airport is a Spanish airport, which is the closest airport to Andorra. Andorra is like right here, sandwiched between Spain and France, and this is the border between Spain and France. We are about to cross it. So if we look somewhere over there, it is Andorra. We are currently crossing our second border. We have first crossed the border between Portugal and Spain, and now we are crossing Spain to France. This other border you see here, like a straight up line, is actually the border between the rest of Spain and Catalonia, which is disputed territory, so I will not give my opinion on it. As you could probably see on the map, there is someone going that way in the end of this vapor. It is right there. We just passed him. So that is an actual plane in real life going there. And given where it's heading, I'd say it departed probably either Madrid and went to the right to go to Paris, or it just departed Catalonia or like Barcelona airport and decided to go upwards to Paris or some Scandinavian country. You might have noticed that we're not following this route because we switched routes and we are using GPS Direct, which will take us directly towards Nice approach to Ablac, and we'll do this whole approach procedure just to land here. And it is not showing the airport, but basically this is one of the runways and this is the other one right next to it. These are two parallel runways which for some reason are not appearing. I don't know. And this is LFMD, which is our secondary airport or alternate. We can see the other guy. They're still going over there. Wait, that's another one. It's this one here. Like 50 miles out from us. And a little streak in the distance. I can't see the other guy anymore though. Oh, there's another one. Yeah, that's the one. I think we can actually move all the way here. Try and look, because I did see someone. Where are they? No. Oh. I thought they were somewhere over there, but I cannot see them. If you are surprised about why the engines are throttling up and down, it is probably because we have not a constant but a very rapidly changing wind, and you can see that in our vertical speed. We're always bouncing up and down. So, oh, we just passed someone. That's why. I wasn't in the cockpit view. I did not see that. Where did they go? Oh, there they are. Up there. Yeah. There. So, what lowered us was actually TCAS. That was TCAS. Traffic collision and avoidance system. Now normally, if ATC was... Oh, we have someone straight up ahead of us. Is that them? Yeah, that's them. Look, plus 0.5. That's their altitude in comparison to us. So they're at 42,500 feet. That would normally be dangerous because we are required to have at least 1,000 feet separation, but 500 is good enough, right? Look, there they are. Another plane. They're probably doing the exact same waypoints as us to have such a close encounter, and I think TCAS is not gonna act. So smile and wave, boys.
Monitor vertical speed.
Yeah, TCAS is acting now. You can clearly see we are changing,
Clear of conflict.
and it just said clear of conflict, which means there is no more conflict between airplanes, and I can't see the other guy anymore. And levers climb. Why is it going down? Okay. So yeah, we just passed the other plane. Oh, they actually crossed us. Seemed like a very close encounter, but yeah, there they go. Do we have anyone close to us? That plane over there? One thing that's very common is in real life, when planes come that close to each other and they're like one in front of the other, like a head-on encounter, they flash their landing lights, so like just saying hi. Our landing lights in this plane are actually, let me show you, I'll just turn on the left one. It's here in the bottom. I don't know if you can see my cursor. There it shines. Yeah, that's the landing light. It's pretty damn strong. And that's why we have a setting between on and off and retract. This just turned off the landing light, and we can retract and it will go back into its own casing, which helps reduce drag and everything, so it is more economic for the plane. I don't believe there is anyone near us that could activate our TCAS. You can actually see into the cockpit here. We are 350 kilometers away from Nice. Okay, there's another plane on the left and then another one on the right. We will take our VFR map, and it seems like we're actually gonna have a pretty big encounter with this person. I will get back to the cockpit. So they're plus 0.5 to prevent a collision, and TCAS absolutely screaming at me. I will go down 500 feet, because otherwise TCAS is gonna scream at me. And throttles are on climb, even though auto throttle is on idle. Okay, traffic. Yeah, I get it. Damn. We are going down, so there goes plus 0.9. As soon as it goes plus 10, it should turn white or disappear. Also works. But if we were to go 100 feet above, TCAS would be blaring. So for example, here is a situation where I could turn on a landing light and just say hi. You're gonna appear somewhere. Yeah. And TCAS should say clear of conflict, but since I already descended, it won't. And we are back to 42,000 feet. Landing light off and retract. Let me just check how long until we get there. That's 21 minutes remaining. I'm gonna start descending. Seatbelts on and 30,000, because why not? No, I don't care what the speed is. The computer will figure it out. I'll start the chronometer. It will be counting here. Pressure info is good. Cabin altitude.
Flight deck, ladies and gentlemen. As you may have noticed, we have begun our initial descent down to our destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for our approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated until the aircraft arrives safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
There goes the descent briefing. We will do 500 on the barometer because it's basically the same as the radio. And destination 79. Wind magnitude is 9. Temperature is 17 degrees Celsius. And QNH air pressure is 1011. We will do config 3 flaps, so we will have to change that right now. Computer says we should land slower. I'm gonna be honest. Computer says 120 landing speed, 116 with full. I'll do 120. Yeah, 140 was a bit of a high guess. Oh no, that's approach speed. Approach speed is 125. That's gonna change quite a bit, yeah. I mean, we could use low brakes. What if we have a really bad condition runway? Still. No, I do not like those margins. We will put in just medium brakes, stop us half of the runway, and I think we have a high-speed exit right by there. We are coming very close to our approach procedure. Okay, LFML is our alternate airport, not LFMD. Sorry. That is Cannes Airport, and we cannot land on 1500 meters. It's literally half of Nice's runway, while Marseille has 3,500 meters above Nice. We are currently here. We should start our approach soon enough. We are heading towards Abdel. Actually, what if we do? We have the Ablac approach here. Abla, yeah. Nova, okay, Ablac. We will turn towards Ablac. We are at 30,000 feet. We'll change our squawk. Because why not? We are not messing with the frequencies though today. Engine status is okay on idle. Yeah, descent is on idle. Fuel info, good on fuel. I'll actually be willing to say that is a bit of fuel. That is quite a bit of fuel that we did not need. The A320 does not have a dump fuel for function, so we can't just dump fuel, but still. I'd rather not land with that much weight. I'm not actually sure what the minimum landing weight is. What the maximum landing weight is. So yeah, medium brakes on approach. No air brakes, just yeah. Seatbelts are on check. Barrel ref is set. Minimum. We will set the barrel right now. 10, 11. On both, yeah. Check. And next item. Minimums is 500. Auto brake we will set as medium. Engine mode selector. Checklist complete. Landing memo is just the ECAM. Consult message record. I have a message. No messages. And yet it says company message. No messages. Okay. Ports. No ports. What if it's on the AOC? Saved ATIS. Of course ATIS is not available. I'll just print that for shits and giggles. Why not? So we are heading towards Ablak, and that will get us on approach course for runway 04. This exact curve. Don't ask me why they make us do that curve, but it is what it is. We should be able to see the airport right here. Yeah, pretty damn close. So here's our route. We will go towards Ablak, then do this whole curve and get on the ILS waypoints. That's Ablak, Avili, Amphu, Tipik, Moose. What is that? Who the hell calls a waypoint Moose? Oh, Lou. These guys, I swear, south of France has the weirdest waypoint names. Hi. Oh my god. Yeah, we're about to get on. How much time has it been? 8 minutes 40 seconds. We are arriving at Ablak, 20 miles out. All the landing checklists have been completed. We are arriving to 30,000 feet. Our flight plan includes flight level 250 at Ablak, descending 250. How long to land? I don't know how long ago you sent that message, but we are almost landing. We are on approach, 170 kilometers until we get there. And you actually have a very handy thing here on the screen which tells you exactly how much to land. So we are 90% of the way there, 11 minutes to ground. I'll leave it a bit bigger than it was before. You'll get console lights because it's easier to see the pedal disc and my cup of coffee. I'm not gonna check the cam memo because we are not yet at that stage, but still. Arriving at 25,000 for Ablak, and for Abili we will need to be at flight level 207. The reason why I click with left click and then right click while holding left click is so that this little ball appears, which is the same as pushing this button in. It basically tells the computer, okay, by the next waypoint I will need to be at 25,000 feet, and it calculates, oh, I'm gonna change the vertical speed so that when I get to Ablak I'll be exactly at 25,000. As you can see, perfectly calculated. And when I do get to Ablak, it will be at 25,000. For the next waypoint, Abili, we will need to be at flight level 207. So 207. It appears we have another plane here. Oh, there. And we are again on course. As you can see, Abili, it just changed to 213, and that's where we're heading to. 210 now. I'll just do 207 again. The flight levels, when I say 207, it's 20,000 feet in 700. So we just scrap those numbers on the side. We just passed to speed alt mode, which means we pass transition altitude. And again, once we pass a billy, we'll be at 20,000 feet in 800. For the next waypoint, it will be Ampho, which is 135, which will require throttles is climb, or the throttle, and we are on our way to Ampho. We are only 111 kilometers away. We can already see the little peninsula where the airport is located. And this is the Mediterranean. There's another plane flying overhead us. We are about to arrive at this waypoint, Ampho. If I turn up the scale, we should already see the last waypoint before the ILS approach. As you can see, we're right on time. It says 3:40 on the next waypoint. It's 3:41 UTC, of course, not daylight savings. So we're just a full minute behind schedule is not that bad, I think. And starting the turn, next waypoint is Typic at 092. 092, there we go. And we can already see the waypoints for the ILS approach. There's the airport in the horizon. 90 kilometers. We are approaching top of descent, which is decel before Mus, this little point, which means we should decelerate, and we are gonna start that now. We just pulled the speed indicator. We are gonna decel to 250 first. Oh, that was not my intention. 250. Once we reach Typic, we will decel to 200, and so on. 200, probably 160 at most, and our final approach speed will be 125. The airport is hidden by this barrier here, this support strut, but we can already see some towns, villages, a lot of houses here, probably a big city. I believe that over there, like here, is Cannes. Let me check. Is it this? No, this is not a waypoint. Right near Miss. Cannes is way over here. Cannes is this one, right? Yeah. Cannes is closer to Nice. Where's Monaco? Somewhere in here. Is this the bay? No. That's too big. Or Monaco is closer to here. Actually not sure. And then, like, right over here is Italy. Somewhere. The border is really close. I've been to Cannes and I've landed at Nice airport on this exact trip once. But I did land from the other runway, on the other side. Not this one. Okay, we are gonna decel to 200. Actually 180 already because we passed our expected decel point. And we're gonna get our air brakes out just to help us get down to the speed we want. And reminder, we are doing a config 3 flaps approach. We can get our first flaps down and we're gonna hold on to the flaps for one more moment. We'll actually go down straight to 160. We will, 60 kilometers out, we don't need flaps yet. Right. And after Moose, it will immediately show the course to make a left turn for the ILS approach. So we're gonna take out the ground spoilers, arm them, spool up the engines just a little bit. And we're gonna start our left-hand turn. We should go to 4,300 for the next waypoint. So I'm gonna drop down to 7,000. Just so we can intercept the ILS and direct to CF4R. That's the ILS capture. Somewhere in there is the airport. Right in the end. That's kind of next little bay over here. And we are gonna activate the approach phase. So performance, oh yeah, it's already done. This is the go around settings. Flap retract at 131 and throttle out at 1015. Okay. Down to 4,300. We will turn on ILS. Have we captured an ILS? 50 kilometers, almost there. We have captured an ILS. Approach mode on. There's the airport. We can already see some buildings down there. Really tall buildings, if they stand out that much. We have been 23 minutes since we started the chronometer, and I believe it was 19 minutes it said until ground. So we are running a bit late. Localizer, what does it give us? Okay, that. Let's just do approach mode. This will be a category 1 ILS approach with autopilot turn off at 500 feet. .38 kilometers. We have an ILS captured. We will begin our approach. So ground spoilers arm, seatbelts, no smoking. That's supposed to be. We're gonna do flaps 2. And while that is not gonna help our descent rate, it will very much help our lift. We can already see the lights from the runways. There are 2 parallel runways. We will land on the right one. ECAM memo is checked. Landing no pull. And that is radar and predictive wind shear, which is after landing. We have our second marker on the ILS. We are on speed and glide slope mode. That means we do not have to care about altitude anymore until we land. As you can see, there is another aircraft here, which is making this pass, which means it probably took off and is now climbing. Even though it appears as a Cat 3 single approach, we could make it a double approach, which means we have both autopilots for redundancy. We will choose not to, because it's basically auto land. It would basically land a plane for us. But no, we will turn off autopilot at 500 feet. That's another runway for another airport. That is the Cannes airport. We have some cruises down here, some personal boats, private, really rich people. And that's Cannes. The airport is quite far off the city. But we can see the runways pretty clearly now. And flaps can wait a bit. 22 kilometers, 27 minutes. Everything is looking good. Auto brakes medium, as our calculation showed. Yeah. We're almost there. We are straight on the glide slope. We will get our third flaps out. Check. That's the runway. We are a bit to the right, but that can be corrected. We will also get gear down in it can be 3000.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
1 green,
2,500.
2 green, 3 green, landing gear check. As you can see, the runways are very much extending into the Mediterranean and at sea level. This is a very difficult approach, not because the runway is short or anything, but because if you do not brake in time and do not go around, you will end up in the water. Flaps 3 as landing
2,000.
showed. Speed brakes armed. We're gonna start preparing for landing 2000. Anti-skid is on. We do not need brake financing. 30 minutes since warning. We're gonna focus solely on actually speed. Let's get it down. 120, 125. We can get our speed brakes up for this. I am finding it odd that autopilot is guiding us so far to the right
1,000.
of the runway at 1000. That's gonna need a manual correction. And autopilot shut off. Autopilot shut off so we can correct. Oh, quite a bit of wind here. I did not expect this wind. It's only 6 knots, but it's such a crosswind. We're actually coming in pretty sideways to
100
the
above.
runway.
500.
Too low, terrain.
Minimum.
Too low, terrain.
Minimum.
Too low, terrain.
Continue.
Too low, terrain. 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 Too low,
It's
terrain.
a pretty short runway nonetheless.
Too low, terrain.
Flare.
20. 10. 5.
reverse service and idle. We're gonna get a bit of thrust in here because we went so slowly, and we're gonna take a left on this one, on this exit. Yeah. We're actually gonna have to cross the other runway while no other plane is passing. And I did not plan on which gates were free, but we're gonna hope there's a free gate. I'm actually gonna brake just a little bit so we can check what free gates are there. Is that a gate? I'll have to go check. Yeah, I'm checking that out. I know this is a gate, but it does not have the walkway. So I will be following this truck, hopefully not ramming it. And check. Okay, that's a gate, yeah. We're gonna get a bit of power here. A bit more. Right here. And there we go. Parking brake is on. Let's get this going. Services, we will get the jet bridge. There it goes. We will get the fuel truck, ground power unit, and a baggage truck. Probably requires me to get a bit further forward. And to the left, because that's gate 12A. Oh shit, I forgot that parking brake. That should be enough. And parking brakes on. That's everything, ground power unit. And we're gonna get a catering truck and both doors. There it goes. That's connected to the door. Our payload is all done. And that's it. We're gonna shut off everything, following the checklist of course. Radar and predictive wind shear. engines. First I'll get the... Do we have external power? We do. Both engines off. And there goes everything. External power. Engines are off. Parking brake. Wing lights. We did forget the lights for landing. Doesn't matter. Fuel pumps off. That's 1 and 2. That's the pump. All of these. Batteries, I can't turn the batteries off. Generators and packs. Oxygen off. Emergency exit lights off. Batteries off. NEF bays off. And that's it. That was this flight. I hope you like it, and I'll see you next time.